going on, folks? Meanwhile, Cloud Fetty back at it with another dope episode. We had to do a video on this. It's just so popping right now. Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. The last movie review we did was Tyler Perry's, what's the name of that one?
Acrimony.
Acrimony. Big. We had to mention that.
You guys are still going in on me about that one.
Exactly.
I still feel how I feel.
Listen, she doesn't allow me to be right about anything, so she can't take it. She don't like me winning. I don't know.
He won. Y'all all agreed with him.
Listen, fellas, when you get married, you're choosing to be wrong about everything for the rest of your life. So I've accepted that. It's just the way it goes. But A Fall from Grace. Now, it was a lot of hype on this movie. I was looking for it. Even the night of it, or like close to midnight the night before, we're checking for it. We kept looking on Netflix. Wasn't there. We were refreshing. We're Xing out of Netflix, hoping it'll pop up. And end up coming on like the next day, right?
Yeah, like midday, like afternoon.
So you know the anticipation at this point is like through the roof. So okay, we watched
They hyped up the preview, so it was like, when is this thing gonna drop? It was suspenseful.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed up, but it didn't show up. But anyway, the preview sold it very well.
Right, as well as even Tyler Perry said, hey, there's a twist to it, and it's like, okay, what's he talking about? I want to see this now.
I don't know why he said that, but...
Yeah, he always has those, so, I mean...
Yeah, we expected it. Like, I don't think any movie is just straightforward
like
nowadays.
Generic, So, all right, let's get to it, right? So, I call it Hannah, from Have Nots.
Yes, we watched that show.
And, she's at a point in her life where she thinks she doesn't exist. Nobody's going to notice her. The fact that she's older.
Her name is Grace. It's not Hannah, it's Grace.
Right, I'm just saying I call her that. But okay, Grace, right. So, she's going through the process of not necessarily feeling pretty, not feeling young, right? Because that's what she was going on. So to get admired by this guy at an art gallery, she's like...
No, you telling the story all wrong. That's not what happened, okay?
Go ahead, get him wrong.
You are, though.
We saw a different movie.
If people who haven't seen this movie are watching this review, it's off.
Okay, so start from
She wasn't trying to look for anyone. She was divorced, and her friend, who plays her neighbor, Felicia Rashad, was telling her she needs to get herself out there because I guess her ex-husband was remarried and she kind of moved out, got her own house, and was living her life. She had a son who was married and living his own life. So she kind of had the same routine, go to work, come home. And Felicia Rashad, her next door neighbor, was putting the plug in her ear like she needs to put herself back out there. She needs to like look for love again. So she slides her this flyer of an event, an art gallery event in the town. And she's like, I think you should go. Because I guess Grace, that character, she has an interest for the arts. So she goes, and then she runs into the guy that you see in the character, the young guy. And he's like, it's his art exhibit. And everybody's there to see him and his work. Right. And, he comes over and he speaks with her. And then all of a sudden the stars and all of the great hearts and all that stuff start flowing. And that's where the love story begins. Thank you. That was nothing like what you said.
Hey. Everybody's entitled to their own take. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that starts. Right. So to pick off from there, he shows her interest. He's aggressive. She's enjoying it. Eventually, like, they really get together, right?
Yeah,
they really get married. She's in love.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden...
No, you're just jumping into the stuff.
I move quick. I hit points.
Yeah, you're a guy. You're impatient, okay? We gotta lead people up. And I know people want to just get to the point. We're going to get to the juicy stuff. But, yes.
Okay, so my heart's right.
He romances her. Like, he gets to know her.
Yes.
Finds out, like, the little things that she likes and, plots them. Caters to her. All the things that a woman could dream of. And also because... she's an older woman, he makes her feel young and vibrant, and they're having passionate love and all that good stuff.
Hard.
Yeah, so her mind is blown. She marries him. She's feeling like the hottest thing in the town because it's like, look at me, this divorcee lady, older lady, and I'm pulling this young hot art gallery guy. So he sells that dream to her, and she's like
Wooing her. Yeah.
fell for it. So of course they get married. He moves into a house, and just like that, boom, the switch up.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it switched?
It switched like right after they got married.
Yeah, I mean, you know how Tyler Perry movies, that's another thing. I mean, Tyler, if you ever watch me more on Cloud Fetty for reviews, I think you need to slow it down a little, brother. Like, you could add a little half an hour more into the movie. But sometimes I feel like he goes, the beginning is long drawn, and then the middle and the end is like boom, 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 and it's over.
Right.
It's like he could, he could extend it a little bit because it really was like she got married and it was like, and then she's in devastation.
Right. So the first signs you get is he's definitely cheating. She catches him on the phone having a conversation. I guess she didn't want to believe it. She's playing dumb when it's kind of obvious that he's talking to someone else. You can tell when a dude is talking to a woman because his voice switches up. It's like a different tone versus
Yeah,
like
he wasn't talking to his homeboy.
So she knew he was on the phone, but she tried not to go in like that because she wasn't 100% sure. So pretty much he was just like, yo, stop asking me about my business. And Flip had like anger, temper, tantrum. And it's like...
Yeah, like total, what do you say, 360, 180, whatever.
180.
It was like a 180 because he didn't revert back. But like total switch up. She came see him on the phone downstairs, and he like, yeah, baby, so you gotta da-da-da. And she like, who you talk to? He's like, don't ever ask me about my business. I'm like, whoa.
She answered him nicely. Like, she ain't going like you see these chicks online, throwing the phone, want to dig in the phone. She ain't doing all that. She's asking politely, respectfully, and he just flipped. Like, I thought he was getting ready to hit her.
Then.
Like, crazy.
That was sign number one. Mm-hmm. Then... he denies it. No, he just says, it dismisses her, like, don't ask me my business. Then she comes home a day or so after.
Right.
And he has a whole chick up in the house.
Like, he in there, like, she ain't there.
Yeah.
Continuing, like, yo, I'm going to get this nut off. I'm in the middle of it. Get out of here. The woman thinks that the woman that barged in, older woman, is his mom. That's crazy. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that's my mom, whatever, like.
No, he didn't say that. She was like, I didn't know you lived with your mom. Because she, like, walked in on him messing around with the girl, and he's hurrying the girl outside. So while he's taking the girl down the stairs, the girl's like, I didn't know you lived with your mother. And clearly it's his wife. But what was really, like, the breaker for her is that she goes into work, and they call her in a meeting, and they're like, $300 and something thousand is missing, and you need to go. And she's like, what? And then she checks her accounts are in the negative, all her funds are gone, right. And the job, clearly, like, somebody signed off and took 300 and something thousand from the job, because she worked at, like, a bank or something,
yeah,
right?
She was like a banker.
So, she's trying to figure out where this money went. She's worked at the job for, like, years, like 20 years, whatever, and she can't understand for the life of her what happened to the money. So she does her research, which is smart. She goes to the bank. She's trying to see what withdrawals she made or what would happen. Could they check the cameras? Because she has no recollection of any of this. So they do. And of course, she calls her husband, and she's like, oh my God, they're telling me that my job let me go because so-and-so money is missing. And he's like, what? Acting all concerned and stuff like that. So anyway, she keeps doing her investigation. They run back the cameras, and they see this dude with his jacked up wig. We're going to get back to that. His wig was jacked up.
Signing paperwork.
Walking around in the bank with a jacked up wig. That's how we knew it was him. Mm-hmm. So he walking around in the bank.
Conk in his hair. Conk.
Signing people papers because now he's her husband. And remember, she's like gung-ho over this guy in love. So she didn't do no prenup, no nothing. She's thinking he's her world. So he set her up very lovely. So he signs over. I guess he withdraws the money or writes
Right.
a check or whatever.
He
the case is.
withdraws the money. He signs the paperwork. It's a joint account, so he has rights. He's legally married. So in his mind, he's like, that money is mine. I could take half and walk away from it, and ain't nothing she could do about it. And that was pretty much his mentality and his response when she finally caught on that it was him. So he's like, so what? It's mine. Ain't nothing you could do about it.
Exactly. So he's like denying it the whole time while she's like, I don't understand. She's looking high and low, asking, calling everybody she knows, and he's playing like he don't know what's going on. And then he walks in one day and she's like, it was you, after she sees the tape and everything, and he's just kind of like nonchalant about it, like, oh, well, I'm not giving you nothing back. Deal with it. And homeboy is still living up in the house.
Yeah, she trying to kick him out. He's laughing, smoking a cigarette.
Still,
like,
yeah.
I'm just like, yo, this guy is
exactly.
bold.
Still eating the food, still chilling, still bringing his women in, talking on the phone. Like
Straight disrespect
straight
in her
levels of
face.
disrespect.
In her face.
Then like tormenting her, making old remarks and comments
That's
towards
what
her.
you're doing, torment.
And she's just pissed off. She lost her job. All of her accounts are in the negative. She has no money. And here's this guy that she's married to, which is her husband. And he destroyed her life. And he's just gloating and laughing and everything at her. So this goes on for maybe like a week or two or whatever. Tyler Perry movies. You don't know if it was a month he was tormenting her or whatever.
I think it was a long time.
It happened quickly. It was like one day she found out, the next day she flipped. So that was the fall from grace. The guy, where he like destroyed her and married her. It was obviously a plot, a setup. Anyway, so one day he's just sitting in the rocking chair or whatever, and he like smoking his cigar or
no,
talking.
it ain't no cigar.
Oh, he was just talking
He ain't that flyer.
Yeah.
He ain't me. He's smoking a cigarette.
Oh, it was a cigarette.
Blatantly.
In her house, and I don't think she was a smoker. And he's just like talking crap while he's smoking the cigar, and she just got a bat from out the corner, and she like,
and he was talking his shit. That's the problem. He's talking mad shit.
He's just hyping it up, like.
And she's behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, bro, you don't turn your back talking shit to them and thinking they really ain't gonna do nothing. So that was his part. He underestimated her a lot because, again, like we said,
he thought she was a punk.
He was tormenting her, and he was taunting her, if you will.
Yep.
Like poking.
Like, I got your money, and I'm gonna live here.
Yeah, making it worse versus she already knew what he did. She already knew he wasn't trying to get up out the house. But on top of that, he was doing that. He could push anybody to getting him fucked up. So that was a reaction from that. Because now you think I'm a fool. So there's more on top of that than just doing what he did.
And also, at this point, you got to understand, she already feels like she lost everything, right? A fall from grace. He messed up her career, her reputation, and everything. So at this point, she feels like she ain't got nothing to lose, and she just tired of him, right? And he not leaving, and he just keep doing whatever. So she got a bat. She there warming up her hands to swing, and she took it to the head. And I think it was the wig. The wig just highlighted. It was the wig. Really was like, you sitting up here smoking a cigarette with your bad wig, and you're taunting me.
The wig.
So the first place she hit him was in the head. She didn't even go for the chest. She hit him in the head with the wig.
The wig was taking a toll on us all.
Oh,
okay?
God, it was.
Everybody that saw it.
I'm still bothered.
And I never even saw like the wind blow or move it.
How was gonna
the whole
move?
time?
Still.
It stayed stiff.
Still.
It looked like he combed it with a brick, and it just popped back.
First of all, I don't understand in 2020 what style they were trying to emulate. Like, what hairstyle is that?
I don't know how a woman takes a dude seriously with a hairstyle like that. Like, if I'm a woman, I'm laughing while he trying to bag it. Like,
and I understand. This is what I don't get. I understand for these movies, you have to switch up the character from who they are normally, right? But I just didn't understand who would have worn that wig great. Whoever they wrote into that role.
I kept thinking of like a young Lil Richie. Like from the movie in his early days, like in the 50s. And he have like a bright red suit on. you know, or like how Eddie Murphy looking dream girls. Like,
stop. Yeah, I know. It's
I'm
true.
just like,
it's true. Like he was about to go in Broadway.
where was Tyler Perry going with this? Even though he has a history, a track record of messed up wigs.
He looked like one of them.
But this
characters.
one was out the box. I think he did it on purpose. It adds an element to the movie, like, yo, I'm gonna mess with these people. I'm gonna put this bad wig on, gonna have their mind messed up the whole movie.
Because Tyler had on a bad wig to himself in the movie. I don't know why he doesn't get it. My thing is that it was a distraction, okay? We see how we getting off topic because of this wig. It was bad. So she took the bat to the head. And I think maybe you're right.
She tried to take the wig off.
Yeah. Maybe it was like to make us laugh because I was like,
he did that on purpose, like a little, like mess with you, like a
because she could have hit him in his back or in anywhere, but she chose to hit him right in the head by the wig, like right at the side, like you know.
Well, you know the thing is, with a woman, and a man, you know, you gotta be careful. If a woman is, I'm not giving any ideas, and you better ever try to hit me either. But when a woman hits a man, she gotta come hard, because if he coming back, his strength typically.
Oh, so that's why she did the head.
I mean, I'm not mad at her for doing that because she knows if she would have hit him in the arm.
Yeah, he would have got up and
grabbed
the bat.
It would have really went left, and she wouldn't have succeeded at all. I'm not saying she was succeeding to kill him. I don't think she was like, I want to kill him and take him out.
No,
but
she just was tired.
I want him to shut up, and I want him to understand that I'm nothing to fuck with.
Yeah.
And you really pushed me to the limit. I think that was the point, and at that point she blacked out. So with all the stuff that she was going through, like straight, he was her downfall. Yes.
So she knocks him out, and she drags him to the basement because now he's bloody. She thinks he's dead. We think he's dead. We don't know.
Anybody else?
He looked jacked. She hit him in his head a lot of times. And he was like bleeding and knocked out and stuff. So she drags him to the basement and she leaves him. So then she drives off because she's nervous. She don't know what to do. So she like drives away from the house and drives far out. And she calls the only person she really has to talk to, because she can't call her son because it's her son, and you don't want to tell him that. And I don't think the son was very a fan of the guy. I think the son was looking at the guy kind of like he was like...
Yeah, like why would he be into her?
Yeah, like shady. Not saying she was an ugly woman, but just the son looked like he knew the guy had an ulterior motive. So she couldn't call the son because it was kind of like shame. And also, she thinks she killed him. So she calls Phylicia Rashad, who was like her best friend and stuff like that. And she tells her like, oh my God, I think I killed him, because she knew all the stuff he was putting her through. And she was like, I left him in the basement. And she was like, oh my God, don't worry, you're going to be okay, blah, blah, blah. Right? Mm. Then I don't know what happens after that.
From what I can remember, it pretty much moves fast forward at that point. She gets accused of murder. The trial starts.
I don't know if she turns herself in. Maybe she does. I don't know. That part wasn't that clear. I don't think they made it clear. But
they put two and two together. Like, okay, he was there last. Common sense too. Once you're married and somebody dies, they're always looking at the spouse first. Mm. So they realized, I think, the trail of blood. She didn't clean it up. Obviously, being in the heat of the moment, she's not thinking straight, so it's a lot of things she didn't do. But she comes across this attorney, which is like, I forgot what kind of lawyer is
Public defender.
Yeah, public defender attorney, and the notion, they have 1,000 cases, so for them to really put their time and effort in your case, it's unlikely. They usually try to get you to plea.
Yeah.
Just to be done with it. So at this point, this public defender actually cares for Grace. Like, can tell.
She found the story interesting.
Right. After a while, she was able to see that I think she's just saying yes so she could be done with it. She doesn't really have any more hope. However, I can tell that she didn't necessarily mean to do it. I think, too, her being a woman, she also sided with her as a woman and knew and felt that she was taken advantage of, and maybe he wasn't totally the victim. She was also the victim. So there's more to the story than what the media and the press was trying to paint. So she went against her boss, the lawyer,
Tyler Perry. He played the boss.
and did further investigations. He instructed her not to go forward. She was willing to admit to everything and surrender herself to jail. However, she ignored his order and really was like, yo, I need to find out more about this. There's some hope that we can beat this case. So Grace started to believe that. The case took, the trial took place. And they ended up finding out that this was like a serious type of scheme.
You was just skipping through everything. You cannot just jump.
So what
Like
parts
that.
I leave out?
You left out a lot. It wasn't just she took on the case and then she did research. It was not that simple. It was a lot that she had digging she had to do to find out Grace's story, because it wasn't just that clean cut, and she didn't have much people to talk to or go off of. So she really had to kind of like research, look through her house, look through what type of person Grace was, look through her friends she had, her son. Like, it wasn't that easy for her to find what was really going on. And what was the thing was that the body was missing. They never found. They don't know where the body was.
Yeah, which
So
is unrealistic.
So they're thinking like they get asking her like, what did she do with the body? And she's just like, I didn't do nothing with the body. And it's like they just thinking she buried him somewhere or whatever. And she's just so fed up because at this point her life is over. You know, he stole her money. She can't find work. She don't have any money in her account. So she's just like giving up. Like, I'm fed up. I'm done. And you know, she does all this research, like, this story just doesn't sit well with me. Like, why is this woman just trying to ride out with this sentence? And the attorney would not let her do that. She was ready to sign and be like, I'm going to take this plea deal, or
I'm guilty.
Yeah, like, let's just be done with it. Like, she didn't care, because I think her knowing he died or felt that he was dead gave her some type of peace. And she was just ready to be like, my life is effed up and I'll just live it out like this. That's it, you know? And everybody was just telling the woman, like, why do you keep researching this case? If she's telling you that let's just sign the thing and move on, why are you still digging? And something about that attorney, she couldn't let it go because she was like, something is here. Something doesn't make sense. So anyway, the only person that she had as a witness for Grace was Phylicia Rashad, who was her best friend. So, you know, she's interviewing her, researching her. She goes to the house. And she notices it's a little weird. So she's sitting at the table with her and she's trying to get some information about the guy and Grace and the type of character they have. And Cicely Tyson is like peeping from the back. And it's just like, what is going on here? Like, that was just weird.
I tell you, don't come downstairs. And it's like, is it okay?
Yeah,
like,
it was just very weird.
Is this her mom?
That part was just so strange. Like, she's like,
it always
playing
is.
hide
It
and
never
seek.
fails when, you know.
You see like how we're interviewing here? It's like Cicely Tyson sticking her head through and
Yeah,
running
you got
back.
an old lady tied up against her will, you know. You told her she can't.
I didn't get the purpose behind the movie.
She's not eating, you know. You told her she can't come downstairs.
Oh my God.
She want to come down anyway, and it's like, you know, what's going on here? It obviously looks like somebody's being held against their will.
Yeah, it was very weird.
Yeah,
and,
it came from out of nowhere.
And she was acting very like mousy and scared, like, oh sorry, and you know, running away. And the woman is just looking like, why is that old lady here? So the attorney left, and she's just like, this is just strange. So anyway, she calls Phylicia Rashad to the stand to testify. And Phylicia Rashad is trying not to give away Grace. And she's like, well, how would you know that the body was downstairs? Or how would you know whatever? And, you know, Phylicia Rashad kind of says, like, Grace calls me. You know, gives it up that Grace did call her after she committed whatever. And
They convinced her to, like, testify.
exactly. So it's kind of like, at that point, it was like they gave up the case. Like, it kind of put the nail in the coffin that Grace did it, because I think they had track records from her call, from her cell phone.
Like, right after the murder.
Showing that she had called Phylicia Rashad, and then
Yeah.
Phylicia Rashad, they tricked her, you know, where they made her say that And,
Right, because she was on the phone rather long, and it's like, if it's a regular conversation.
Exactly. So they kept saying, like, what was she telling you? And then she was like, I can't remember. And then they kind of tricked her into saying, like, she called me and told me she killed him, or he was in the basement or whatever. So at that point, kind of the case is closed, and Grace is just kind of like, damn, well, you know.
Waiting to get sentenced, pretty much.
That's it, right? Mm-hmm. But the attorney, all these little weird things. So then she's, you know, doing her research. She's checking for the mail. She's looking at the mail. She's trying to find any signs to see what she can find. Then she looks at the address of some of the mail, and the mail was going to, like, some abandoned...
abandoned house, you know.
Oh, the notary.
Right.
The notary that the guy used
to withdraw the money
was
from the same address.
Yes, that was abandoned house.
So then she started to put two and two together, like, this place don't exist. Why is it the same address? Mm-hmm. Nobody clearly lives here. Something fishy is going on.
Yes. So the only person she can talk to, because there's nobody else involved, is Phylicia Rashad. So after they close out the case, you know, Tyler Perry was her boss and the thing, and he's starting her like, leave it alone. It's done. Move forward with your life. She goes to Phylicia Rashad's house because she's just like, I got a few more questions I need to ask her. So while she like pulls up to the house, or she's walking up to the house, who's outside? Cicely Tyson. Just mad weird and strange, with no coat on and slippers and a house dress. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. It was just very strange.
It looked like she looking for her pet or something. Wandering.
So Cicely Tyson, you know, starts saying, like, I'm trying to go home. And she's like, I live at so-and-so Peacock Street or something. And the address, she says, is the abandoned house that the guy used for the notary. So the girl's like, what? That address? So she click into it too. So then she opens, you know, she goes into Phylicia Rashad's house. Was she there? I don't think she was there.
No, she wasn't there at the time.
She wasn't there.
She brings Cicely Tyson back in the house and says, yo, let's get out of here. Get your stuff pretty much.
Exactly.
And I think that's when Phylicia Rashad is coming back from somewhere. And then at that point, she's trying to hide or something. Like she runs into her, the lawyer.
I think the lawyer disappears into the basement, or she hides or something.
Yeah, and then when she hides or whatever, or she's brought down there, she sees that the guy that's supposed to be dead is still alive.
Yeah, with bandages on his head, looking jacked up.
And what's more disturbing is there's a bunch of older ladies chained up like slaves in the basement. So it's like, okay, God. What are you doing? You're torturing them? Are you feeding them dog food?
The movie was so
Why
strange.
do you have them down here? Like, it's a whole big thing. So then you're like, well, okay, this guy does a lot of this. This is not the first woman that he's womanized, that he's victimized for this stuff.
Exactly. No, but what you're missing the point is, the guy is Phylicia Rashad's son. And when you think back...
And he's still alive. I never thought that.
He is still alive after he got beaten his head for like 25 times. So, he's her son. They scam people. But the way that the girl gets out of it, the attorney, is that her husband knew she was going to the house to go look for more clues or whatever.
He dropped her off, I think.
Yeah, he dropped her off. So he kept calling her something and he couldn't get through, so he just showed up at the house and he was trying not to let him in, and he kind of like pushed through and got through Phylicia Rashad.
Yeah, because now he's fighting for his wife. Like, yo, with my wife.
Exactly, and then he ends up he finally kills the guy. And then, you know, the case gets thrown out. They realize that these people have been on the run in so many states doing this to old elderly people. And Phylicia Rashad gets away because they shoot the son, and while the husband is downstairs trying to fight for his wife and stuff like that, Phylicia Rashad made an escape. And then, you know, after everything clears, that is this mother and son duo that go around scamming people, and people have been trying to find them because they do it in every state.
Yep.
You know, he's dead, so I guess that's the end of it.
Yeah, but he keeps changing his name.
Yeah, the people in the basement, I guess they get sent back to their families and stuff like that. Grace gets released from jail. She gets her life back. So everything works out on that point. But in the end, you see Phylicia Rashad showing up at some family's house, like trying to interview for like a a nanny or something position.
Up to the same thing again.
Exactly,
apparently.
like probably trying to take care of an elderly
She's
person.
the mastermind behind this
So
whole thing.
at the end of the day, Phylicia Rashad was the twist. This is a spoiler. We're gonna put that in the comments, but she was the twist. She, you know, and she's thinking like, this woman is my best friend and she's my everything, and she was the one trying to set her up the whole time, because she's the one who was like, hey, go to this poetry meeting, knowing it was her son, knowing they had it out for her, know they was gonna take her money. So you gotta watch your back, because sometimes it be the people closest to you. Overall, what do I rate this movie? A 6. What do you rate it?
Out of 10, 6.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't put it that low.
I don't think it's low. I think it's fair.
I give it a 7.5.
Okay.
That's not trashy number.
That's fair.
I
It was
enjoyed the
just a lot
movie
of-
overall. It was different.
It was. It
Just
wasn't
like,
expected.
Just like Acrimony. Again, not the typical movie necessarily that Tyler Perry would do. So the interest is a little bit there more. So that's why I don't really want to rate it that low. I think 8 is fair.
It wasn't that good.
All right, 7.5.
It was
That's
good.
fair.
It was good, but it was a lot of things that weren't realistic.
Explained, right.
Especially the wig. Cicely Tyson just
Oh,
roaming
yeah.
the streets. Why was she
He
not...
could explain that wig if he wanted to. So
Why
we
was
get
Cicely
that.
Tyson not locked up, but the others were? You know, was it because she was black? I didn't understand.
Who is she to Phylicia Rashad?
Yeah, like it didn't.
I don't know.
It was just weird.
If the son was getting at that,
Like, was that the grandmother?
I
No,
don't
'cause she
think they
said
were
she-
related.
I don't think so, because she said she lived at Peacock Street or whatever street it was.
Sick. It's just
So
sick.
I didn't understand why she was like the one who was able to roam around, and the rest they were all white women that were locked in the basement and trapped. So it's like, I don't know what reference that was supposed to mean for us.
Right, and the money clearly was the motive,
Mm-hmm.
right? You get these women, find out where they got the money at, almost like a gigolo, and then
Set them up.
set them up and get the money. So she
But-
knew that Grace at the end of the day had a house.
She did.
So she already knows she can get money from the house. You know, so
But not even that. Why I rated it a 6 is because a lot of it, I feel, I'm sorry, it's not realistic. It's just not realistic. It's not realistic. Like, I mean, maybe it's just me and maybe I'm paranoid, but a lot of things just was a little weird. She never met the guy's family. She never really knew of his friends or anything. You know, it's like it was just like a La La Land, but it was like, you know, you just don't marry somebody and you don't get to know where they come from, their upbringing, their nothing. Like,
also,
she just
what were they doing with the money? Because the house that they was in was like,
a shack. So exactly.
so
if you
what's
did
the
this-
point of getting all this money?
Exactly, and you're still gonna stay
And
there.
what's your result? Like, okay, well, I'm building this. This is the plan I have. That never was explained. So you're right. You get a lot of points off for things not being explained.
No, it wasn't clean. It wasn't done. You know, you look back on some movies and you're like, damn, that was done well. Because it's like anytime you trace back, you see how something was covered. But when you trace back with this, a lot of things just didn't make any sense.
Right.
You know, it was just like, I mean, and then that wig, I'm sorry, I know. But the wig, it was like, usually when they put the sex symbol guy or like the irresistible guy, he's attractive, clean cut, nice clothes. This guy was like, he looked horrible, you know. In real life, as a real person, he's a very good-looking guy. But if he had played his regular self, I would have believed it. But they put him in these frumpy clothes and act like he's Mr. Cool. The character was not realistic. That I'm gonna fall head over heels and he's gonna take all my money and he's gonna be hanging out. And then the fact that she was older and she was married before, she should know how this stuff works. Yeah. So the fact that she just went in so blindly. And then the whole fact that Phylicia Rashad, you ain't no spring chicken either. She was young, she's older than Grace. So how you trying to hip me to where I can find the man?
Yeah,
that part was like, what?
And where's your man at?
Exactly, like who?
You ain't got one, so you should understand perfectly.
She should be going with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you trying to find me a man and you don't got one? And you old too, so how you know where the spots is kicking to meet a person. So all of those things I ask myself. You know what I'm saying? If I got a friend and she's single and she like, yeah, girl, you should go here. I heard he's a cutie or whatever. It's like, well, how you know that? How did she know to give her that? How did she know to give her that flyer to think, well, we know now because it's her son. But I would have been questioning how she know about this, because she's an older woman and not like she was a younger woman like the attorney. It's like she was like in her 20s or 30s and she's on the scene. So it was just very weird. I think it would have been more believable if she met him on the internet or something. You know, it was just, it just wasn't, that's why I give it a 6. It kept your interest, but a lot of things just was like, that couldn't work. That whole wig, I wasn't taking him seriously. Like, dude, before you want to talk about you marrying me, but change that lace front and do something, okay? I mean, I'm sorry. Like, he didn't look irresistible. I could pass him up and I would have slept fine. And Grace, the woman who plays A Fall from Grace, she's a good-looking woman. You know, she don't come off as like an old woman that looks bad. Like, she's a good-looking woman. So it's just a lot of holes that was just like, that don't really make sense. And Cicely Tyson walking around the street. What really was her role in this? I didn't understand. Was she one of the people that was kidnapped? The whole thing made no sense to me. And another thing that I take off points for was, why didn't all of these people's families think to run the cameras at the bank or wherever? Because they obviously was clearing out everybody's bank account. Why was Grace the only one who decided to run the cameras to be like, well, who made that withdrawal? Because it's clearly like he was marrying mad people in different states. Why nobody did better research? How could they have not traced these people? That part just wasn't realistic, because I feel like the attorney didn't do that much research to catch him. But, hey, I don't know.
You're right. So, folks.
And then especially, it was all white women in the basement. You telling me they family wasn't just like, this black young dude with the bad wig is marrying you. He don't got an ulterior motive. Then boom, they come up missing. It's him, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could they have not had a picture to show the cops, like, this is the guy, and he didn't get caught, and he was doing this in every state, and then he's marrying people in different states, changing his names. I just feel like, how did it go on that long? That's why I gave it a 6.
Agreed.
Sorry, but...
No, I mean, when you added up, it was a lot of holes that wasn't filled in, so...
And that's why I said, I mean, Tyler Perry, we love you. You're talented. You're successful. I admire you. But I feel like he just needs to take some time trying to, like, think some things out in these films. Like, he has great ideas, but the execution sometimes is rushed. And I feel like if he put a little bit more into that storyline, it would have been flawless. But to me, he rushed the end just to finish the movie. And it was like, a lot of things just didn't make sense. That's all.
That's right. So, there you go, folks. You have it. Our rating, 6. A lot of things weren't explained. However, still enjoyable. Looking forward to the next Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like and share. We want to thank you that are subscribed, following, sharing, and liking. Any suggestions for future videos, questions you guys have, please send us a message and we'll gladly respond. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see y'all soon. 1.